Hello everybody, this is Sébastien from Cupcake l'addition here on Cakeflix TV again. I can't believe this is already the 5th episode of Cupcake le Webshow. 2 years ago I made a promise, stop being late sharing my Halloween cupcakes, because I have a long history of sharing my creepy creations between November and January, and this is totally unacceptable. So let 2020 be the year I'm sharing my Halloween creations early enough so that you can get inspired by it for your own spooky, eerie, gruesome, sweet tables and desserts. So let me introduce you to Gary the Gargoyle. Gary has always dreamt of being famous, and he almost made it to the top once. That is until that American super production decided 3 gargoyles were enough to act with the main characters. But anyway, nobody really remembers that movie, and that gypsy girl didn't even make the cut to that princess's gang, did she? So let Gary be the star of this Halloween and learn how to model it, because today will all be about modeling. Are you ready for this? Let's get started! Today we will need very few edibles. We will make 150 grams of light grey gum paste out of white gum paste mixed with a little black gum paste or gel coloring, some edible glue, a little cornstarch, and a piece of thick wafer paper. And now the tools we will need: a non-stick workboard, 2 small cutting boards or anything thick enough to serve you as guide for your rolling pin, a foam pad, a 5.5 cm square cutter, a 3 cm round cutter, a flower shaping bowl, a pearl silicone mold, a small rolling pin, skewers and toothpicks, a smoother, a selection of piping tips, a little aluminium foil and parchment paper, a water brush or a brush and a little water, a blush brush, a fine brush, a piece of styrofoam or a dummy, cutting pliers, a Fimo blade, an X-Acto knife, a Dresden tool, a serrated cone tool, and a selection of bowl tools. And now some optional stuff I'm using in my video: plastic wrap, a very handy precision scale, and my secret weapon, a wax picking pen. As usual in my videos, the first thing we want to make are the eyes, because we want to allow them to dry overnight, 24 hours at least, so that they can be hard enough to be manipulated, moved around, pushed inside the modelings without losing their shapes. As always, I'm going to use one of these pearl silicone mold. Now you asked, these are really easy to find online. If you are in Sri Lanka, you can get them from my sponsor Bake It Yourself in Colombo. In this part, we are also going to make some elements we want to give time enough to be completely dry and hard. That is the pedestal and the wings. So the first thing I want to do is to dust my mold with a little cornstarch. Okay, I want to dust the cavity 1, 2, 3, the 3rd cavity, 4, 5, and the 5th. Okay, I want to dust them very well so that the paste doesn't stick to it. Now I'm going to brush off the excess of camera. And there we go. I'm going to take a little gum paste, knead it very well, roll into a nice and smooth ball, and place it in my 3rd cavity. I'm going to do the same with the 5th biggest cavity. There we go. Now with a bowl tool I'm going to press, and I'm going to take my Fimo blade and cut off the excess. There we go. I'm going to come back with my bowl tool and press again. Okay, I want the edges really clean. And I'm ready to unmold. Okay, there we go. We have our 2 eyeballs. Now I'm going to take mini bowl tools to make the pupils. So on this one I'm not going to make any pupil. You will see later why. I'm going to just put pupils on this one, and the eye will be looking up, so I'm going to push here a little. Okay, I made a nice hole. And as our design will be monochromatic, I'm going to take a ball tool a little smaller and I'm going to go deeper here so that I create a shade that makes the pupil darker. And there we go. So I will allow these two to dry. Another thing I want to make early in the game is the pedestal, because it will be a quite thick piece of gum paste and it needs to harden completely to be able to hold its shape. So its size will be more or less the size of this cutter, so a 5.5 centimeters. And I'm going to make a trick. I'm going to take a piece of rice paper, a quite thick rice paper, as you can see. And I will make, let's say, a 4.5 centimeter cut. Okay, so here. Okay, so it will be like a base that will help our pedestal to hold its shape and be quite stronger. So now I'm going to take my gum paste, knead it properly. I need it well kneaded. Going to make a ball. And this I want to roll it into a very thick layer, but I don't have rings thick enough on my rolling pin, so I'm going to make a trick. I'm going to take 2 cutting boards and I'm going to use them as guides, okay, so that I can roll a thick layer of gum paste. Okay, here I'm going to do this. I'm going to add my square and inlay it in the gum paste. Okay, I'm going to do it this way too. And there we go. We have our quite thick layer of gum paste. Now I'm going to turn it around and cut here. Okay, there we go. And there I have my base, and I will clean a little the edges. And now I want a stone texture, so I'm going to take a piece of aluminum foil and I'm going to ruffle it. Okay, and I'm going to texture my stone. And once you're happy with your texture, your pedestal is done. You just have to allow it to dry completely. Another element I want to make well in advance are the wings, because I need them to harden completely so that they can hold their shapes. Okay. So I'm beginning again by kneading very well my paste, rolling it into a thick layer with my thicker rings. Like so. Now I'm going to take a 3 centimeter round cutter and make 2 circles in it. 1 and 2. I'm going to place them side by side and I'm going to come with my cutter and make this cut. And now I'm going to come with an 806 piping tip and I want to make circles like this. 1, 2, and let's say 3. And I'm going to make exactly the same here. So more or less 1, 2. And 3. And of course, I'm not completely happy with this shape. So first I'm going to clean the edges properly. I want very clean edges. Okay. And I'm going to place them on a foam pad, like so. And I'm going to come with my dresser tool, and with a thicker side I'm going to push here down. Okay. One, and in the middle. Okay. I want to make this motion here again. And here we are. Don't forget to texture them a little. Okay, at the end of the day they are also made of stone. Maybe press a little here to make it sharper. Okay. Now our wings are finished. We want to allow them to dry and harden completely. I would recommend to place them in some kind of curved container. Okay, I'm using a flower shaping bowl. This will give to your wings a nice and natural curve. And now it's time to watch my wonderful sponsor's commercial, Bake It Yourself in Colombo, Sri Lanka.
Hi, this is Akira from Bake It Yourself, also known as DIY Lanka, your one-stop cake supply store and studio located in the heart of Colombo, Sri Lanka. We cater to bakers of all different levels. You can simply be a budding home baker or a world-renowned sugar artist. We've got you covered. We offer a range of high-quality ingredients and products from international distributors as well as local brands in Sri Lanka. DIY Studio is one of a kind. We offer a fully equipped studio with all amenities. We are the pioneers of hosting international artists. We have also hosted demos and workshops with local and international artists. We warmly welcome more artists to teach us the up and trending methods of sugarcraft. Drop into DIY Lanka to experience a truly magical world of baker's heaven. Thank you.
And now it's time for us to make Gary's little belly. Wait, what do you mean he needs some exercise? Give him a break! He works a sedentary job up in the heights of Notre Dame. Plus he looks quite ace for his 850s. For the body I am going to start with a 45 grams ball of gum paste. As always I am going to knead it very well. Like so, and once it's well kneaded I'm going to make a very smooth ball. Like so. Now I'm going to go for a teardrop shape, putting my hand like in a V position. Okay, like so. Now I am going with my two fingers to roll because I want to make a kind of neck. So I want this part to be thinner. I exaggerate a little, but it's meant to be like this. Okay. Now I want to make this part a little thinner. I'm going for a kind of pear shape. So with my two fingers, I'm trying to achieve this shape. Okay. There we go. Once I have my kind of pear shape, I'm going to decide which side will be the front, which side will be the back. I see that it's curved here a little naturally, so I will decide this part will be the back. So I'm going to pinch the back like this. And what I'm doing is making a column. Okay, up to the neck. Like this. I'm going to take my Dresden tool and I'm going to push a little back the paste. Okay, I want to make kind of vertebras. All the way. And now with my finger I'm going to smooth. There we go. Okay, so this was the back part. Now in the front, I'm going to push here to make the pectoral. So here I want a curve like this. Okay, like a moon looking down. And now I turn my Dresden tool this way and I'm doing the contrary. Now I'm lifting. Like this, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. Like this. Can smooth a little with the back of my Dresden tool here. And there we go. On the neck I can push a little like this. Here. And I can push a little here. And now I want to make a little belly. Okay. Because Gary is not in a very good shape, let's say. Okay. So again with the Dresden tool I just indent. Okay. And then I will go a little deeper. My finger I can push here to make a depression, okay, following the move, the beer belly I am making. Okay, and now I have more or less my body. I'm going to curve it a little this way because that's the movement I want to achieve for my gargoyle. Okay. So I'm just going to curve him like this. He will be a little leaning on his left side, on my right. Okay. So here what I'm going to do, if I'm leaning, I need some folds here on the skin. So I'm going to push here. Okay. Okay, there we go. Going to push a little the belly here because I want also a texture and folds here. Okay, because that's the position we decided we were giving to Gary. Okay. Like this. I can indent a bit here. Okay, because here he has ribs, but I don't indent much. Okay. Now I'm more or less happy with what I have, so I am going to take a styrofoam protected with parchment paper, and I'm going to prick it on it. Okay, so I will want to have it vertical, but I have made this position, so I'm just going to go through it like this. There we go. I'm not going to go all the way because I don't want my modeling to lose its shape. If I press it against the styrofoam, it will gradually flatten, and I don't want this. There we go. There I have my body pricked. Okay. Once I have it here, I can correct stuff if I'm not happy with them. But basically that's what I wanted. I'm just going to take a little gum paste, like so. I'm going to make a very tiny ball. Okay, this should do the work. And this will be my belly button. And I'm going to take my corn tool, but this is my belly button tool, and I'm going to press right in the center. There it is. I have a belly button. And I'm going to make two very small balls. One. Now we have two balls the same size, and they will go here. One. You see I'm not using water because the gum paste is a bit sticky, so it's not necessary. So there we go, we have titties. We have a belly button and our body leaning a little on the right. Okay, now what I'm going to do, without waiting, I'm going to create the stone texture. Be careful not to ruin the shape you did. And there we go. We can prick it back. There it is, our body is textured. While we allow Gary's hourglass body to dry a little, let's watch a quick commercial. it's time to give Gary little legs, little feet and little arms. And now let's go for the legs and the feet. So I'm gonna need 2 times 4 grams of gum paste for the legs, and I'm going to need 2 times 1 gram of gum paste for the feet. Again, knead very well my gum paste. Okay, once it's kneaded, I am going to make a nice ball, and I'm going for sausage or kind of teardrop shape. Okay, just a cone like so. Okay, once I have this, I'm placing it on my work surface and I'm pressing a little. Okay, this is what I'm aiming for. I'm going to make a second one here. And we have more or less the same thing. One leg will go this way. Okay, so I'm going to fold it in the middle like this, and the other one too. Okay, like this. But I will shape them better on my modeling. So I will want one leg almost going from under, so I'm lifting my modeling and I'm placing it a little under. Like this. And I want something asymmetrical, so this one will be a little vertical. Okay. And I need to press it against the body. Now I'm finishing to shape it directly on the modeling. Okay. I will use a tiny bit of water here for this one. Okay. Like this. I'm making here indentations where the joint is. I can also do them with my blade a little. Okay, this is what I am aiming for. One leg vertical, one horizontal. Now I'm going to shape the feet. So I'm going to need my 2 balls. Make again a ball, teardrop shape, flatten it, and here I'm going to curve as if it was a foot, like this. I'm going to make the second one. Okay, this part is thicker than this one, if you notice it, as we went from a teardrop shape. Okay, this goes from thin, thick, and a bit thinner. And now I'll take back my modeling and I'm going to place my feet on it. Okay, so this one goes here and this one goes here. Okay, on this one I'm going to just texture a little here. I'm going to brush a little water and I'm going to attach it here this way. Okay, and the second one I'll also texture it a little here. I'll just brush a little water here on the back and place it this way. Okay, like so. I wanted something asymmetrical, okay, to give the modeling a little more interest. And now I'm going for the toes. As usual, I want to be really in control of the size of my toes. Okay, when I have very small elements like this, it's really difficult to eyeball them. So I came up with some techniques, and that's what I'm going to share. So I've rolled very thin a little gum paste. I'm putting a plastic wrap here. I'm going to take 2 piping tips, an 800 and an 801. Okay, I'm going to make 2 cuts with the 801. With the 800, I'm going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There we go. So I have my circles. They are all exactly the same size, except the 2 big ones, of course. So I'm going to take 1 small and I'm going to cut it in 2, right in the middle. Okay, there we go. I'm going to roll this into small balls. 1, and 8, because it will have only 8 fingers. But look at this, they are really regular in size. That's exactly what I want. So I'm taking back my modeling and I'm going to paste this on it. I'm going to use this and a little water. Okay, I'm brushing water. And this will help me to pick my fingers. Okay, here's 1, 2, and there we go. They are quite naive, but that's really what I was aiming for. Okay, don't forget to texture, because it would be weird to have this very smooth and this textured. So go with your aluminium foil all the way. Be careful with the toes, because you can easily make them fall. So insist on the legs and be careful a little with the feet and the toes. And there we go. And now let's go for the arms. I will need 2 pieces of 2.5 grams. Again, I will knead them properly. Like so. Roll into a nice ball. Roll into a sausage. A little long, but above all, thinner here and wider there. Okay, this is what I am aiming for. Going to make a second one. There we go. I'm going to take a ball tool and I'm going to press the thinner part like this. I'm going to do it on both like this. Okay. I'm going to take my blade and I'm going to cut a thumb so you can see the shape here is like this, so I'm going to use this shape as, okay, and like this, and a triangle. This part I discard, and I'm going to do the same but opposite. So here and here. Okay, there we go. I'm going to take this and I'm going to clean the cut and round a little the thumb. Okay, on both hands. There we go. Now I'm going to take my Dresden tool and I'm going to press here in the middle and here just the limit with a thumb. Again here in the middle, here the limit with the thumb. This will help folding my hand in a natural way. Now I'm going to make this part. You can see that there's a bone here, okay, that's round and goes right here. So I'm going to take my Dresden tool, I'm going to place it here in the thumb, and I'm going to make the shape like this. Okay, I'm going to push here like this, and I'm going to make here, I will indent a little less, but I'm going to do the same shape. Okay, like this, and I'm going to roll between my fingers. There we have our first hand. The second one I'm going to do the same but opposite. And here in the hand I can make this line also. Okay, that helps me flatten a little the hand and give it a more natural shape. Like this. Now I'm going to take this in my hand and with my little finger, I don't know how you call it, you roll a little to make the middle of the arm thinner. Again here, like this, the middle of the arm thinner. Like this. I don't want anything more detailed. Okay, now I'm going to take back my body and I'm going to decide how I'm going to place my hands. So I'm going to begin with this one, and I've decided to place it a little like I placed it on my modeling last week on Count Room. Okay, so I'm going to fold it here, I'm going to press with the back of my blade. I don't want to cut, I just want to indent. Okay, and I will place it this way and curve here like this a little. So basically what I want to do is to attach the upper part on my modeling. Okay, like this. And once it's attached, I'm going to shape it a little. Okay, make here the cut come a little here and maybe in 2 indentations like this, and place the hand in the position I want. Okay, I'm taking water and I'm going to place a little water behind the hand here and place it on the body in the position I want, which would be here. And now I'm going to shape my hand. Okay, I can curve it very well because I made the indentations like this, and I can indent here and indent here. And for this hand, this would be it. For the second one, I want to make a special position, and I want to free the index finger. Okay, I'm not going to keep it here, so I'm just going to free one finger. So I'm going to cut here to set my finger free, and these two will be folded. Okay, and here in the middle I will fold my arm, and I will place it a little like this. So again, I'm putting water here, and I place it here. Here and here, like this. And put a little water here so that it sticks together to stay in the position you want. There we go. So to make my hand hold its shape and dry in the position I want, I'm going to take a skewer and a little piece of foam, and I'm going to go here, for example, and put my foam here and place it so that my hand will dry in the shape I want. Okay? So that's it. Don't forget to texture the arms. You have to be very cautious for this one, but you need to texture them too. And there we go. Now we are going to allow this to dry. And before we get to the last part of this tutorial, let's watch a quick commercial. Stay tuned.
Every house needs a strong foundation. I've teamed up with my former college tutor, Cecilia Young, to bring you over 25 years worth of knowledge and experience packed into this fantastic programme. Within these 8 individually assessed modules, we've covered the fundamental building blocks required to take your cake decorating skills to the next level. And that's not all. Each programme is accredited by FDQ, a leading UK organisation for the food industry. We look forward to welcoming you on the Cakeflix Master Programme.
I'm so excited! Today's cupcake project is almost finished. Let's give Gary his funny mug. First thing I want to have at hand are the eyeballs I made in advance. As you can see, they are fully dry, they are hard, they can be moved around, manipulated, and they don't lose their shapes. So I'm going to keep them at hand. Now I'm going to take my precision scale, and I want, on the one hand, I want a 1 gram piece of gum paste and half a gram piece of gum paste, and for the head I want 18 gram of gum paste. Now I'm going to knead very well, as usual, my gum paste. Going to roll it in my hand into a nice and smooth ball, like so. And now I'm going to go for a rugby ball shape. Okay, so I'm going from one side and the other side, and I roll, putting my hand in a kind of triangle position. Okay, and this is what I am obtaining with this technique. Now I'm going to take the two balls I had. Now I'm going to knead very well, as usual, my gum paste. Make a ball and press it a little around here. I want it to come out of the top, like so. I'm going to take the second one, knead it well too, roll it into a nice ball and press it to here on the top, like so. And now I'm going to take my eyeballs and I'm going to press them against the head and these balls that I have just made. Okay, like so. Okay, while I'm pressing, I'm working a little on the shape of my head. I can press a little more. Okay. I push a little this kind of, not exactly eyelids, but I'm pushing them to hide a little the base of the eyeballs. And there we go, we have our head. Now I'm going to take my Dresden tool. I'm going to work on a chin. Okay, so I'm going just to push here a little to draw the chin. And once I have it, I just push it a little like this, and then I press. I don't want a very noticeable chin. I just want just a little volume here. Okay, there we go. Looks like a mouth, but it is not, because we're going to take a ball tool. Okay, and I'm going to begin with a small one, and I'm going to make an off-centered mouth. So I'm just going to press, okay, like this, and little by little I go deeper. And I make a mouth a little, let's say, sad. I want to push it a little down. Okay, like this. Can go with a bigger one if I want. Now I'm going to take a little gum paste. I want to make a very small teardrop shape. Okay, like so. And I'm going to come with my Dresden tool and indent from almost the top to the back. And I have made a tongue. And I'm placing it here where I want. I want the tongue poking. Okay, and I will use the indentation I made to stick it in the mouth. Now I'm just going to take another piece, okay, a small piece, I don't need much. I'm just going to roll it a little. I need not a too thin layer. Okay, I'm going to take this and make half a circle, like so. And I will need a cutter, and there it is. Okay, I need this shape, more or less. With my Dresden tool, I'm going to push here to make indentations. Okay, like teeth. And now I'm going to place it in the upper part of the mouth. So if I see that it's not open enough, I just push it a little with my ball tool. I place it inside. Okay, and once I have it more or less inside, I'm gonna use my Dresden tool to push it in place. Okay. I'm gonna push where I indented it. Okay, so that I'm able to place and to stick the teeth without making them lose their shape. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to take again a little gum paste. Like so. I'm going to roll it into a nice ball. Roll it into a thin layer. Okay, like this. And I'm going to take an 808 piping tip and I'm going to cut a circle. This circle I'm going to cut it in two, but not with a straight cut. I'm going to cut it curved right in the middle, like this. And I'm going to use these two to put them on the small eye. Okay, these are basically eyelids. There we go. And I'm putting the other one down here. Okay, I didn't want to use water, but maybe I will need it to. No, it sticks. Okay, there we go. And with my Dresden tool, I'm going to push them in place. Like this. And now I've done that, I'm going to take my Dresden tool and I'm going to indent. There we go, and a little less, but I'm going to indent two here on the upper part. There we go. Now I'm gonna take another piece of gum paste, I'm going to roll it into a sausage with pointy ends, like so. And I'm going to place it under the eye, here and here. I'm going to use again my Dresden tool to place it properly. Here. There we go, and I'm going to indent again. This is an eye bag. Don't have to be precise. And now I'm going to take a very, very tiny ball. Okay, roll it into a little ball and place it here between the two eyes, right in the middle. Okay, I'm going to press it here down. And with my Dresden tool, the pointy end, I'm going to push here under to create nostrils. 1 and 2. Okay, can you see that? And now what I'm going to do is attach it to my modeling because I want to go on shaping and hiding the details right on the modeling. So as you can see, the modeling hardened in the right position. This is now hard, it doesn't move. Okay, I don't need that much here, so I'm going to cut it. Okay, going to check the neck. I don't need that much neck either, so I'm going to cut it too around here. And there we go. I'm going to take a ball tool and I'm going to push here a little under the head. Okay, to create already the place where this is going to be. And I think I will be good. I'm going to push it. Okay, I'm pushing it into place. And now I've placed it, I'm going to texture it a little. Okay. There we go. So now I'm going to allow the head to dry like 15 to 30 minutes. You can notice that I've put little pieces of foam so that it dries exactly in the position I want to. I'm going to take a little gum paste and I'm going to make the horns. If you're a unicorn fan, this is your moment. Make a ball and then make a kind of elongated teardrop shape. Not too thin, not too thick. I think this is about right. Okay, I'm going to take a second piece and do exactly the same. Okay. And now I have those two pieces, I'm going to put them together like this. And this is when the magic happens. I'm going to make a swirl. Okay, this is as easy as this to make a horn. And I'm going to allow it to dry in position, and I'm going to do a second one exactly the same. And I have my two horns that I will probably cut around here. Okay, before I allow them to dry, I'm going to texture them a little, very cautiously. These are also made of stone, so I need some texture. And there we go, they are textured. Now I will allow them to dry. So now I have allowed my head to dry a little, not much. It's been only 10 minutes, but it's already secure in place. Okay, if you don't force it, of course. I can add the last details. So first thing I'm going to do is to take a very small piece of gum paste, roll it into a very, very thin sausage with pointy ends. Okay, quite long. I'm going to take a little water and brush it here right on the brim of the eyelid. And I want to put here on the brim of the eyelid, beginning right on the center. Once it's placed, I just push it with my rubber shaper and it just helps giving a nice finish to the eye. So now I am going to make something else. I'm going to take a little piece of gum paste, and you know how much I like proportions, so we're going to do the trick again. Okay, I'm going to take my rolling pin fitted with the smaller rings, and I'm going to roll a thin layer of gum paste. I'm going to take my 806 piping tip and cut 3 circles out of it. There we go. I'm going to roll them into small teardrop shapes. I'm always doing this because it is difficult to eyeball quantities when you're making small stuff. So that's why I came up with this kind of techniques. And now I'm going to take my Dresden tool, the thicker part of my Dresden tool, and press here in the center and bring it to the edge. On the second one, center and bring it to the edge. Okay, I don't want to go further, but I'm going to take the other side of the Dresden tool and draw the line. Okay, here. Okay, this one I'm going to leave it here for the moment. This would be a good moment to texture a little because we won't be able to do it after. And now I'm going to take my ball tool and a little water, and I'm going to brush water here. Here close to the eyes, here and here. And I'm going to take my ball tool, press it here where would be the canal, and this will help me place my ear while making a canal. Okay, so there I would be a first one. I'm going to shape it a little. I want it looking a little down. The second one I'm going to do the same. Press it here, and this one will be looking up. So here we go. There we have our ears. And now to the last teardrop. With the thinner side of my Dresden tool, I'm going to go from the thicker part to the point. Okay? I don't need much. I'm going to do just 2 indentations. Now I'm here, I'm going to pinch like this and just make a kind of movement like this. Okay, I'm going to take a piping tip and I'm going to cut here to make a rounded cut. There we go. And I'm going to brush water just here on the cut, and this will be a goatee. I'm going to attach here. Okay, there we go. And now the last thing I want to attach are the horns I made earlier. Okay, I'm going to cut them the exact same size. I think this size would be right. Okay, 1 and 2. I'm going to take a ball tool more or less the size of the base, and I'm going to take and press here where I will want the horns to go to make a little the place where they will be attached. Okay, I'm going to brush a little water and attach. You have to press them gently so that they stick properly. Okay, and once you've done that, they won't move anymore. Look at this beauty. And we are almost there. Let's add those finishing touches. And now what do I need to finish? Well, first I need to place it on its base. So I'm going to take my base back. As you can see also, it's quite hard. Okay, the wafer paper helped a lot to make it harder. I'm going to take a toothpick and make a hole. Okay, because remember we have a pick inside our character. So I'm going to pick it up very cautiously and check if I'm good. Be careful not to break anything. Okay, find the position which looks better. I think for me it would be this one. Okay, so I'm just going to put it back here and I'm going to brush a little water under my character. Like so, and place it down. Like this, it is secure. So what's a demon without a tail? So we're going to take a little gum paste again. Going to roll it into a ball. Come with my rolling pin fitted with a thicker ring. And I just want to make a small piece quite thick, like this. I'm going to take my blade and cut an arrow shape, like this. And with a piping tip, I'm going to cut here. And I have my arrow shape. Going to come with a ball tool and right in the base I'm going to push a little inside because this is where we are going to attach the tail later. Okay, and I can make this pointier a little, and there we have the point of the tail. And now I'm going to take again gum paste. And I want to make a nice string. So rolling in the palm of my hand, I want to make something pretty regular. Okay, this is already too long, so I'm going to cut it. It will be easier to manipulate it. If I want something very regular, I can come with a smoother. Okay, there we go. Can cut it a little. Then I'm going to check where I want it to go. So I'm going to attach it in the back here. And let's say I'm going to make it like this, maybe. Okay, this position could be right. So the part that I'm going to attach in the back, I'm going to press it a little with a ball tool, for example, to make it flat, because we're going to paste it under the as here, and I'm going to make it thinner, because remember we made a little hole in the base of our tail. There we go. I think now we're good. So I'm going to brush a little water here behind my modeling. I'm going to place it here. Place the tail and push it a little down, and I'm going to take it where I want. So I decide to make it this way. Here I need to make sure it doesn't move and it sticks. Okay, I can push underneath with the Dresden tool. I go underneath and I push. I'm going to take my tail, make sure it is wide enough. Okay, I'll brush a little water inside and insert it in the tail like this. Okay, just going to make sure it is secure. And there we go. Okay, I'm going to brush a little water here to make sure it stays in place right where I've put it. And there we go, we have the tail. So we allowed Gary to harden completely, but we almost forgot something on the way. His wings, because he's a gargoyle and he needs wings to do all his bad deeds. So this is the only time I am going to use a glue during this this tutorial. I'm going to place a nice quantity of glue here behind, and I will attach the wings behind Gary. Okay, I will place them behind and hold them in place a little. And there we go. Our Gary is now finished. So this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's old modeling tutorial. Don't forget, this was only the first part of Gary the Gargoyles tutorial. Next week I will teach you how to take your modeling to the next level. We will learn how to dust, paint, stain, make edible moss and a bunch of other cool tricks to make your modeling stand out. But above all, we will learn why Gary the Gargoyle has such a funny mug. Is he having a hard time remembering the teapot song? Is he wondering if it is a bird, a plane or Superman? Make your bets, but don't miss next episode to know everything about it. Bye bye everybody! If you're still hungry for cupcakes, head to my blog Cupcake l'addition with 2ds.fr. It's in French, but you'll be just fine. It has a translate feature. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Bye bye!